Okay, 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 okay. Beggars can't be choosers, bitch. This ain't Chipotle. Hi, Kaylee. How are you? Um, Today was one of the quieter days I've had in a while. Mostly because my program is over, and so I had some time to myself. I even cooked, which is something I haven't done these days. Surprisingly, it's more difficult to cook for yourself. Uh, but that's partly because I haven't really been eating all that much. But I made some Vietnamese food today, so that was good. That was good. And today, I don't really have a topic today. How do I feel the program went? Well, um, it was so I have my business coaching program every 2 months, and it's a little bit it's very very different from how business coaching normally works. Actually, want to show you. Wait, not this one. Yeah, so suppose I'm looking for like a business coach, right? Um, it tends to be around individuals or like through the prominent name figures like Tony Robbins. And they're largely individual, and when you do it, the pricing it tends to be really expensive. Oh, they don't. Yeah, they don't even show you the prices up front. But in general, coaching tends to be a very expensive thing, and it has both sides. Like, is it Yeah, yeah, see, like prices are really elusive, and so you don't really know like what you're signing up for. But anyway, when you once you start participating in business coaching, it's usually a one-on-one experience or like a group thing, and the price tag is really high. And it can be kind of a slippery slope of constantly feeling like you need to invest more into yourself in order to make more money, you know? And I've had that experience before. I invested like $30,000 and plus $8,000 for my coaching certifications. So it's a lot of money, right? And not everybody decides to become a coach after the certification. So like I made up my mind and I said, okay, you know what? I'm gonna, do it. I'm gonna get certified and I'm going to, own my own business. And then, now you start with this pool, and then by the end of the certification program, you have this many people participating in their own business. And then now from this, the even few actually become like sustainably um profitable. I'm really lucky because I have support from viewers like you, and then I was profitable starting year two, which just kind of blows my mind. So, I know what it's like to enter into a business coaching kind of a thing with a lot of investment already, and that can't feel good, right? I want people to, if you're gonna work with me, I want you to join with a clear mind. If you're gonna, pay me a few $1,000s, I want you to pay me I want you to want to pay me $2,000 or something like that. So, um, that's why my business program is a little bit different because business coaching has to do with money, and many people are very scarce about money. And money is like a big trigger for a lot of people's emotional and mental health. So I don't want to coach from a environment where everybody's already feeling like because they, paid me like $5,000 or whatever. I don't want to run it like that. So my business coaching is kind of weird because I run it on Discord, and it's just $200, and I give people all of my time for like the entire month. And so it's really radical, right? And but instead kind of keep it at I cap it at a few, like 15 people. Well, that's my intention. But anyway, that's how I run my business coaching. And it started in December. So I did one iteration in December, and that was because it was the first time. I wanted to make it radically cheap, so I made it $20. And it I had like 28 people there. So 28 people, talking to them all the time over the month. It was like kind of, it was really fun. I learned a lot, but at the same time it was really unsustainable for me because yeah, I just didn't have any time to do like anything else. So I for February, I was thinking, okay, in February, I'm gonna limit the number of people to like 15 people, and like I got the hang of this, so I'm gonna make the price $200, and so I make that upfront, and then actually 18 people ended up signing up, so yeah, so 18 people, I worked with them over the month of February, and like, but 18 people sign up, but they participate to different degrees. Not everybody participates the same amount, but the people who did sign up and the people who did really, hi Carolina, hey Francis, hey Denise, the people who did do the work actually like really took a lot of advantage of me, and which is something that I want to encourage, right? I want people to take advantage of me. That's why I'm running these programs in the first place. I don't want money to be like a really difficult topic for people. I want people to be equipped with the knowledge to make money so that they stop hating themselves, like because the a lot of the um mindset about money is that if I was good enough, then I would be making more money. But it's actually really different from that because making money is a different kind of a skill, and nobody really like breaks it down and teaches you how to really make money. And so, for me, teaching that, it's not like just that piece of knowledge, it's not worth that much to me. And I became profitable because of like my practice, how I do things, right? So I think it's kind of a fair trade. But yeah, but in any case, it was a meaningful work. I think I, unblocked a lot of people. But at the same time, I think 15 is still kind of a little bit too much too. Um, so I know that there were people asking for the April rendition of it. So I know that I'm gonna do the April one, and my wife felt a little bit bummed out too because I was always spending time with other people, and that makes me feel kind of like I wanna have fun and I wanna hang out with my wife too, right? So in April. I'm gonna run the program again for a month, but I'm thinking of kind of relying on some help from other people, like uh, I'm potentially gonna have some the TAs so that I don't have to be online all the time. And I'm thinking of specifying some times where I'm gonna be available so that I don't have to be online all the time. And I can actually do some other things with my wife and such. Those are the things that are on my mind. But overall, I'm happy that people ended up getting the value that they were looking for. And most of you are part of my Discord, and so now they're in my Discord community. And as always, I'm trying to make my Discord a little bit bigger so that I can be more publicly accessible. So, um, but my way of scaling is I always want to build up enough demand and then actually have the scaling problem and then address that and then build up demand again and then address that. So that's been how I practice my business. So um, to be honest, right now it is that period of time where demand is kind of at its limit. So my day is mostly spent, like either working or coaching. And while this is okay and I have no problem with it, the problem is that now I don't have a problem, but there are people waiting for me now. And so I'm thinking of starting in the summer, kind of changing how I work so that I primarily do more group oriented things so that I can meet with more people at once, just like these streams. And partly why I stream so often is for me to practice that feeling of working, like talking to a lot of people at once. And then for if you want one-on-one time, I'm planning on kind of putting a cap on my one-on-one time, which is uh I enjoy working with people with one-on-one time, but the more kind of demand I have, the more kind of valuable my one-on-one time becomes, and especially to me too, because like I the time that I don't spend coaching or working, I actually am developing a lot of programs and I'm working with a lot of different people to come up with the next projects for, next big projects and things like that. So my time sort of becomes more valuable to me. So I am at if the business continues to scale at this rate, I will need to make some changes in the summertime. And but again, my YouTube channel and my this Discord is never always gonna be at the center because I always wanted to be a YouTuber, and I'm lucky and I'm happy to have the support of viewers like you, and so that's sort of how my business is going at the moment. Yeah, but overall can't complain. This is the life that I wanted, and it's going pretty well. Uh, I don't really have a specific topics that I wanted to discuss today, but let me look through the conversations I've had with different people to see if I can talk about some things. Yeah, because I made like 4 videos yesterday, so I don't know. Maybe I'm kind of feeling a little bit. Yeah, let's take as always. Let's take a look at Reddit. Why I look at Reddit for stuff is because this is where actual people are, you know? Um, they use the anonymous forums to kind of really get real about their problem instead of trying to, maintain like an image or like try to present themselves a certain way. In Reddit, you can always, have a throwaway account and just kind of like talk about what's actually impacting you. So that's primarily the reason why I use Reddit. And let's just discuss some things. Uh, went to a mingling event. Woman asks if I have Asperger's. Becomes defensive when I ask her why she said that. Yeah, I mean that. I mean, what? Just one thing that I want to say about this is your there are socially acceptable behavior, right? But that socially acceptable behavior doesn't really mean that it is the absolute standard for good behavior or not. So it's kind of like you have to be aware that when sometimes people will act out of that ordinary bounds of social the accepted behavior, and I think this is one of those. Denise, you got your application results back today. I got waitlist for my associate. Oh, waitlisted. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Well, congratulations, everybody. Clap, clap, clap for Denise. Yeah. Why? Because I mean, this isn't the end, right? And the number six, that's really not. I think that is good because I'm trying to find the clap emoji in my chat. Wow, is there no clap emoji? Has to be one, right? Okay, maybe I just really suck at finding emoji. Associates of Applied Science. Okay. Cool. All right. Well, really, congratulations. Yay. Uh, March 20? Yeah, yeah. It's you still like you got an offer to obtain your, yeah. So I mean, there's always different options at play, and it's not your first option, first choice, but the first choice is still on waitlist, so anything can happen since then. So, um, I have my hopes for you, and so, and regardless of whether you get in or not, hey, as long as you're breathing, you can be happy. So, that's the perspective we're gonna have here. So even if you do feel bad, we can always talk about it. But thanks for the update. Good luck. Gym is actually making me feel worse about myself. I've increased my bench max by 100 pounds. My squat goes up by 200 and I put on 6 pounds instead. But despite all that, I'm still smaller and weaker than 99% of guys. Jeez, my progress is so minimal, and the truth is there's a regular guys that don't lift that will easily do my maxes, and I just every day I self-improve by lifting. Yeah, so this is about equating physical attractiveness to the meaning of life, right? So, um, yeah, it's a it's a mind thing because you you some one person can say, "Wow, I put on 60 pounds. That's great." But suppose I'm anorexic or bulimic, right? Then putting on 60 pounds, it's the same 60 pounds, but it's a horrible experience for me. And what I'm trying to say is, all these things are just things that happened, and it's up to how we interpret them. I've been practicing my Buddhism for like 96 days now, and this person's been lifting for 6 years. That's like way more than me, so way more consistency than me. Bench max by 100 pounds? Shit. I tried benching. Benching sucks. I can't bench for shit. Squats for 200? Jeez. And put on 60 pounds? So it's up to how you interpret this, right? And this person doesn't interpret it in a good way. In fact, it makes you feel worse about yourself. And why? Physically attractive, right? It's all about how other people see me rather than how I see myself. Because when I feel good about myself, and then I have all these high expectations, and then other people say that's not good, then the disappointment is proportional to the amount of hype that you generated for yourself. So it's a case of the more I work on myself, the more I set up disappointment for myself. And so in order to really address this, uh, we have to really get to the root of why being physically attractive is so important to this person. Chances and the statistically probable reason is because they are lonely, and their brain thinks that when to address this loneliness they need like a partner or popularity from other people. And in order to do that, the most high chance or like the most controllable way is to increase the physical attractiveness by working out and being strong. So that's the kind of the trap that usually happens, and it's important to, if you want to feel better, that's what you want to do. And this is also actually really good example of like why advices don't really exist in a vacuum. So, you see a lot of people who aren't really, mental health professional, and they say, "Oh, just lift and go to the gym, you'll feel better." This is a clear example of how that like might not work out at all, because you need both. The health is a very happiness is a very holistic thing. I'd say it depends a lot on the mind too, but there are definitely elements about the physical nature that really interact with overall happiness in life. So that's a important thing to note. feel like I'm not good enough to talk to women. Yeah, so the 22 male version. So like as soon as you describe yourself as a virgin, um, it just really shows you what your priorities are, right? So I can call myself I'm a 36-year-old like stupid person. So like the fact that I kind of say that first tells a lot about speaks a lot about my qualities, right? How I what I view myself as and things like that. So yeah. That's just how it starts, but let's read it a little bit more. Friends are all male, never been to a party, never did the young person things. Subhuman male. See, again, subhuman male, like what is a subhuman male? It's to this person, this idea of a subhuman male is so concrete and you know, society is partly, you know, to blame for forming this image of like a Chad versus like a beta human. And but ultimately that idea constructed by the world has cemented its place in this person's mind and it has dominated the narrative inside the head. I know I'm not that bad, I'm not a neat or anything. And again, there's a more element of shame here, right? So yeah. Oh, but at least I'm not a neat kind of a thing. College and high grades, have a job, live on my own without family help, but socially I'm a loser. Yeah. So there's a lot of judgment about everything because yeah, not, the self does not feel reliant. And so whenever it feels like it's criticized or whenever it feels vulnerable, it feels like a legitimate threat for safety. So in order to kind of address that, the brain usually tends to resort to deflecting, right? So, um, you know, that's why we see these types of implicit judgments on everything. But ultimately, it all comes back to them as well, right? So that's why they ascribe themselves as a loser and the virgin. Just start talking to girls, which makes sense. But my problem is that I can't see any reason why a girl would want to talk to me. And the thought stops here. That is part of the problem too. So if you don't see a reason, then if you truly want to change something about that, then you would come up with reasons and experiment with different approaches, right? But a lot of the mindset is, oh, I don't know, so like I'm stuck here. And there's no kind of effort to do something about that. But this isn't to say that these people are weak-willed and therefore suck. It's more like the power inside of here has been siphoned so much that they have the capacity, but they don't feel connected to it. So that's what's actually happening, you know? Like as a virgin loser male with little social life, there's nothing I have to offer a girl, especially given she will likely have yeah. So you see the power dynamic and the power hierarchy, like the power just keeps on siphoning, and then the in terms of the hierarchy, you just keep putting yourself as lower and lower and lower and lower and it's a loop, right? And the more you do this, the more you find yourself pathetic. Yeah. I had a female friend at my job once and it made my views on this worse. She would go out of her way to talk to me, but she clearly looked down on me. See, we never know if this is actually what happened or not. Because we can have a nice chat here, right? We just talked to Denise, and there's nothing stopping my brain from thinking Denise is actually, I think, lying. I think Denise really hates me. I think Denise wants to make me feel bad. Or like Miku is here, right? And like, this post cannot be real. I want to believe this is something, you know, this is someone being satirical, but you never know. But I could be thinking Miku is like full of shit and things like that, right? But like our experiences are really determined by our lens of how we view this interaction. Obviously, I love you guys, but when you have this lens, the person can walk someone can walk up to them and be like I really like you and you're really great And then there's nothing stopping your brain from thinking, this person's fucking patronizing me. This person hates me. You know? Um, yeah. So recall the, my earlier videos with Julianne and look there. And moreover, a quick plug time. Um, one of my courses is has to do with relationships. So I have a 1999 course, The Romance Formula, how to invite more romance and relationships into your life. So if you are interested in learning about how I approach relationships, you can check that out here. Okay, that was a quick plug for myself, which is something I can do because this is my channel. Yay! Today makes a year since I have cut myself. Okay, so yeah, cutting is a very big topic um in my head because of this fucking book. A Little Life by Hanya Yanagihara, and man, I was on a roll with reading books, and then after this, I got like PTSD from books so hard I stopped reading. But yeah, there's a book I haven't finished yet, so I'm working on finishing it. But you know what? Starting tomorrow, I'm gonna read a little bit more. But yeah, this book is uh, I did a review of this book, and I called it, if you have PTSD, this is a never read. But if you are going to work with people with PTSD, this is a must read. Um, this book is just all sorts of fucked up, but the main character in this book heavily participates in cutting. So as I was reading this book, I got to learn a lot about the psychology of the person who cuts. But anyway, this person says, today makes a year since I have cut myself. Last year was rough mentally for me, being bullied in high school, and I had no idea what to do because I had never been bullied before. Yeah, skip school. No idea what to do after high school. Grades were awful. Smoking weed, Xannies, opioids. Get me therapy. Depressed, anxious, hopeless. Yeah, bullying is yeah, bullying just really, it eats up at the soul. It's a very sad thing. And I think that's why it's really important to, especially if you have children, or if you're young, you have to understand that you have to look at ways to invite more power into your life, and you have to have access to ways of feeling powerful in life. Nobody gets to bully you around. Um, you have to come to a point of believing that for yourself, whether by joining a jiu-jitsu school or like having a counselor, or I don't know, if you're a teen who's being bullied and you want to talk about it, talk to me. Email me at billy@julylifecoach.com. We can talk about it. And yeah, man, but yeah, kids are evil, but I don't know, I think bullying is a little bit different across cultures. In Korea, bullying is very physical, so there's a lot of school violence, and at least when I was growing up. And because violence is more or less common in the school environment, the teachers don't really do anything to address it. But I think that's largely the time I was growing up. There were some really nationwide scandals in Korea related to school bullying. So they've taken a lot of measures to prevent bullying. But at least in Korea that I know, yeah, bullying is really bad. And you know what makes bullying so worse in Korea? Um, in America, the kids go to the teacher's classes, right? But in Korea, it works the opposite way. The class where the students are is static, and the teachers come to the students' class. So the teachers don't have a home room. The teachers have an office where they all just stay, and then they go to different classrooms depending on the period. And man, what that means is if you get picked on by a bully in day one at school, you're gonna have to live with that like the entire year. And guess what? The next year, if you're unlucky, you're gonna get assigned with that same bully to the next year. And again, you have another year of torment. So this is what makes bullying especially toxic in Korea. But yeah. In America, bullying is a little bit different. It's a lot more psychological, and there are elements of physical violence, but I don't think it's as physically vile as Korean bullying. It's kind of depressing. But yeah, and I mean that's why I guess I'm doing all this work for the young people as well, right? Because life coaching is usually a market for grown-up people, and it's primarily female marketed towards female, and so when I go to like coaching meetups, I'm like the 90% of the times I'm like the only guy there. So I'm doing my part to kind of bring more male presence into the coaching so that male participants, male clients feel more comfortable talking about their mental health and vulnerabilities. And something else I work on is a lot is working with the young people and the youth. Which reminds me, um, I currently have a fundraising thing I'm doing with Spill the Tea Cafe in Hawaii. And if you are interested, you can donate directly here. But this is a nonprofit cafe. Uh, it's targeted for Hawaiian teens, LGBTQ teens, because they have no safe space and they get bullied at school, and moreover, they get bullied at home. So because their parents don't really want to accept the fact that they are gay, lesbian, queer, or transgender. So a lot of the times, the kids really have no place to go because they don't feel safe at home, they don't feel safe at school. So the cafe acts as like a safe space, like a communal space, and like provides food and snacks and like boba things, like things like that for free to the children. And it's a clinic, so you have social workers working there to listen to the teens, and so in Hawaii especially, suicide for teens is a very big problem. And I always say, in order to be happy, all you need to do is just be alive. But if you're not alive, it's kind of difficult to be happy. So that's why I'm partnering with the Spill the Tea Cafe. So briefly wanted to mention it. Uh, Last February, I remember coming home from work late, was trying to finish schoolwork. My mom came in, told me to go to bed, led me to cut up my leg pretty badly, rushed me to the hospital. Hurt bad. Was crazy. I didn't feel the pain. Yeah. I had to spend the rest of the night at the hospital so I could talk to the psychiatrist in the morning. Psych hospital. Scary things about it. Yeah. So, yeah, this is really heavy stuff, right? And so why do people cut? It's such a wild thing to do, right? And the psychology behind cutting is really, really It's complex, but at the same time, it's so one-dimensionally simple. Um, it comes from this really deep-rooted belief that there is something actually wrong with them. And in order to correct this, they need to punish themselves. And the punishment has to be something like the mind is already punished to the max. So there's nothing really more you can add onto it. So because the mind wants to punish itself so badly, but it's at its limit, it starts looking for the next easiest target, which tends to be the body. And so, you know, and cutting is a just a different way of self harm, right? So when you look at other forms of self harm, like eating disorders and things like that, it roots from this really low self perception of themselves that reaches the line and crosses over the line of I'm so bad, I'm so horrible, like something has to be done about this. Like it's not like, oh fuck, I'm bad, I feel bad, I'm not staying here. It's like, holy fucking shit, I'm bad. I need to I gotta be dealt with. And when it crosses that line is when you start punishing your body, because again, when you're at that line, your mind is already capped with the amount of punishment that it can take. But thankfully for this person, um that bad, honestly, it seemed like school to me. No one seemed like they had anything wrong with them. It was nice because during the daily therapy sessions we got to talk more about personal stuff, and it was nice to see other guys around my age experiencing similar stuff to me. Now, would I want to go back? Hell no. The nurses, text therapists were nice, but the psychiatrists and the nurse practitioners were so rude. I had to get blood drawn about 3 times during the 2 weeks I was there. I got into a physical fight with another guy after he kicked me. I did make a couple of friends though. I think now this ironically is a sign that something's working, right? Because when you're bullied, your self presence becomes so low. When someone kicks you, you kind of feel like you deserved it, and later on maybe you start kicking yourself and so on. That's how it progresses. But yeah, if you're at the point where like, what the fuck, you kick me, I'm gonna kick you back, that means something is working. What helped me was the medication I was prescribed there. Well, mainly, yeah, medication. I'm, like, because I'm not a doctor, because I'm not a psychiatrist, I can't prescribe. So that's why that's pretty much the only reason why I don't talk about medications. But medication can be like the simplest way of kind of feeling better, because many times, especially if your mental woes develop when you're at an early age, it really messes up your well, not messes up, it impacts the growth of your brain, so it becomes actually a physiological issue rather than explicitly psychological issue. So medication is like a really direct solution for that, right? To resolve that kind of chemical imbalance in your neurotransmitters. So, um, this person didn't really describe their home life, but you know, statistically speaking, unhappy home life tends to kind of impact this way. But that's the downside. But the good side of it is medication usually tends to work really well for these types of situations. Even I tried to be upset, but I couldn't be upset because the medication forced me to be happy, basically. When I got out of the hospital, I did cry because the next day I would have to go back to school. And also, I was gonna miss everyone I met there. It was nice to see other guys my age who had a lot of the same problems. Another thing that helped me was one specific guy. I forgot his name, but I did become close to him. Month was his mom didn't want him anymore, so the hospital and search for who did want him. I wish I could have took him. He was such a good kid and he was smart. He just didn't deserve that. And these regrets tend to be life shaping. And I have a sense that this person will grow up and mature to be the type of person who prevents these types of things in the future. Yeah. But since this experience, I have switched to online school, which is boring. I don't have to deal with the stress and anxiety of in-person school. I've been accepted to multiple colleges. I would decide on a career I would like to pursue. Yeah. See, my experience in the psych hospital played a huge role in my decision. See, this is how the trajectory of your life just kind of starts forming. I was even able to stop taking the medication. I just wanted to share this because I'm genuinely proud of myself. Well, I have no idea who this person actually is, but congratulations. And you and then you age and you mature and then you get to learn that hey, that is just part of life. It seems like such a big thing in the beginning. It seems like such a big thing when while you're going through it, but hey, you if you just look at life from a sufficiently long lens, nothing is that good, nothing is that bad, nothing is like that. This sounds really nihilistic, but it's actually more about so if nothing is going to be like lastingly that bad anyway, why not um enjoy the time that we're here, being cool and being nice, being friendly with each other. I have too many things to do in my head, and I'm ending up doing nothing because I don't know what to do first. This is very easy to solve. Number one, just pick one and go. And if you can't pick one because of feeling overwhelmed, go to ChatGPT, give them the list of what you need to do, and then have it decide the order, and then just follow it. Most of the times, the problem is that I can't pick. The actual problem is I pick, but I don't trust in my decision. And so that is what's gonna happen, even if you make ChatGPT pick what you're going to do. As you're doing it, you're going to constantly doubt, is this the right thing to be doing? Shouldn't I be doing something else? And you have to realize that that thought, shouldn't I be doing something else? There's nothing that's actually going to address that thought. That thought is just always gonna be present because it's not really attached to anything. But if you don't understand that, if you can't see through that, what likely happens is they wait for the pressure to build up, and then other people get upset with them because things aren't done. And then because of that, they rely on other people telling them what the priority is so that they can do it. And so it becomes a vicious pattern of not being able to make a decision for yourself. So you need to wait for other people to do it, and then other people get upset with you, and then it kind of turns into people pleasing as well. And while doing all of that, you're constantly going to be overwhelmed, which is 0 out of 0 would not recommend. Trying to be a man, but I feel like I need constant validation. I'm 19 and I've been having this problem with the way I feel about myself. You know why this is so difficult? Because the idea of a man is a construct, and it depends on who you ask. What is a man to Mick? What is a man to Francis? What is a man to Denise? What is a man to Kaylee? What is a man to Carolina? It's it all just depends on the person you're asking. But this person is thinking that there is a global universal standard of being a man. But because it's so ill defined, they don't know what it actually is. So they're trying all these things, but because it's a loosely defined thing, they don't feel confident with it because it's not really defined. And because of that, of course, they need someone else to tell them because they are outsourcing their internal power to other people. So you see the common thread in all the things that we discussed. It's that you don't give yourself the power. You don't give yourself the authority to be the driver of your life because you think you're not good at living your life. But other people aren't that great at living your life too. So a big theme in life coaching is realizing that in the end, as much as it feels difficult to you, you have to be in the driver's seat in your life if you actually want to do something about all the feeling bad that you are experiencing. I'm going by myself to a concert that nobody invited me to. So my stepsisters and their cousin are all going to this concert. They never invited me. Yeah, yeah. There's nothing wrong with going to a concert by yourself. So again, believe that whatever I do is right. I make the best decisions for myself. Sometimes what I thought were best decisions for myself will turn out to be not that great. But hey, the value in that is now you know because you learned first person, and that's a irreplaceable value because I could be telling you every day about how to live your life, but unless you actually live it, it's never gonna be integrated into your life. So approaching life from an angle of everything that I do is perfect, and then when it's not, I'm gonna learn from it. That's a really simple way of living life that generally works out very well for everyone I work and talk with. My throat is hurting a little bit, so I want to take a quick break and look at some other things. Oh yeah, remember Goliath the dog? I wanted to take a nap today, and this is the pillow on my sofa that I used to take a nap. And as I was about to lie down on it, putting laid there first. So I was flabbergasted and I took a picture of it. This is Goliath. A few days ago, he was more active and he was sniffing me around, but today he was sleepy and he gave me this judgmental look as I entered the alteration shop. And this is Billy I'm putting from a few days ago, but look at this guy. I originally took this photo because it was like a rabbit's ear, but then I noticed this later. And here's pudding. Oh, I don't think I talked a lot today, but my throat is really feeling it right now. How are Fridays going? When I was in college, Felt so bad every Friday because it felt like everyone else was having the time of their lives on Fridays, and I was alone in my room, not doing anything. Of course, who do I have to blame for that? This guy. But yeah, Fridays used to really bum me out. But nowadays, Friday is just another day. Strawberry Festival. That sounds amazing. Is it a picking festival or like is it a bunch of strawberry vendors making a bunch of different food options? Because I know that for peaches and apples, there's like you go to orchards and you do the picking things, right? Strawberry festival. That sounds fucking amazing. I want to go there. Pudding. Can you get me some strawberries? She's sleeping. And Fridays is usually when I call, when my wife and I, when we call our parents, but my parents, oh well, my wife is in Korea right now, so they're meeting her in person. So no need to. Pony rides, pie eating contest. I want to go to there. The This reminds me. Um, so I have this really weird mix of cultures, right? So I know some parts of Korean culture really well, but at the same time, I don't really know that much. And the same with American culture. You would think I know everything about like the American cultural experience, but actually I kind of don't. And one of the things that I only sort of have an idea on is fairs. I don't really understand what fairs are. And so back in 20, I think 15, my wife and I were living in San Jose, and we went to the Santa Clarita Fair, I think it was. And yeah, it felt like a lot of fun things were happening, but then what ended up happening was we just got really robbed by the carnival workers because they were really intimidating. And then they were like slapping pigs. I don't know, like what was it, whipping or slapping? They were really like abusive to the pigs. I don't know. And then later I learned that they were gonna put the pigs on auction. I was like, holy fuck. I did not want to know that. Um, but yeah, I'm trying to see if I had pictures of that really strange fair. But yeah, that was some crazy times. My wife is a big fan of like seasonal festivals and stuff. So back in Korea when we were dating, we used to go to like the shrimp festivals and the clay festivals, things like that. Good times. Could have sworn I took pictures of that fair, but not finding it at the moment. Just a lot of pictures of when Pudding was young. You guys want to see? Not me. She's so young. Yeah, rides and food mostly, right? That was what I was expecting too. But then yeah, it had all these like really like strange other things. Yeah, music festival I thankfully understand. But yeah, the local like farming like fair that was really weird. But that's part of the American culture I don't get. And another American culture I don't um truly understand is the concept of like dances. Like, what's homecoming? I don't understand that, and it's like kind of too late for me to ask now. And like Sadie Hawkins and all these like dances, I have no idea what they're like, what that's about. SoCal fairs are wild. Are they usually in Anaheim or I don't maybe Orange? I vaguely remember like when I was growing up in Brea, um, something being in Orange. St. Augustine Festival. So, yeah, maybe this year I'm gonna visit some festival. This is where I used to live in San Jose, and um this is Billy before his surgery. So look at how like lengthwise how short he is. Because his liver is not functioning at this point. So look at this guy. Look at this little poop. Never been to a dance? Yeah, I mean, I did go to a few, but I think they're mostly underrated. I mean, not underrated, very overrated. I don't know, but I'm not a social butterfly. I'm not the homecoming king or anything. LA, yeah, I know the LA County ones. Orange County have their own, but what city is the Orange County Fair in? I recall something about Orange when I was yeah. But because his liver is not really functioning, he's more like of that like stereotypical Maltese look, right? After the surgery, he looks a lot grumpier. Yeah, hell yeah, be the DJ. Bum everyone out with like ultraviolence. Yeah, when I went to like parties in college and you know the times where I was socializing, like sophomore junior year, like I put on the playlist and then like I play all these like fucking Radiohead songs and everybody's like, what the fuck? Play some K-pop and I'm like, no. Maybe that's why people wanted to stop hanging out with me. But hey, I get it. Oh, there's a picture of a there's a picture I am fond of, but it features my wife, and I want to protect my wife's privacy, so unfortunately, no picture for you. Here is Billy in a IKEA bag of all places, for whatever reason. Yeah, he likes to go into these really weird places. Yeah, bum everyone out. That's your whole mission. Get people to break up. This is me at like during my Grand Canyon trip. Look at the look at my dad. Look at look at how larger I was back then. I think it's because this was pre-jiu-jitsu. Oh yeah, remember the neighbor I was talking about? The renters who are like about to be evicted. Apparently the power and the water is off. So they're borrowing power from me right now. So I may need to open the garage for them later. Can you see how Billy like grew lengthwise in this picture? This is after the surgery. Look at how hunched I am. Jesus. Yeah, so because of that, he like became a little less of that stereotypical Maltese look. That's a few months after the surgery, but a few years later, yeah, when you look at this, you can really tell that Billy grew lengthwise a lot. So that's the power of veterinary science. Orange County Fair is in Costa Mesa. What? Does that even count as OC? I got Billy Jr. from a pet shop in Korea, which is something I regret very much. And my wife and I agreed to next time we are gonna have a dog, we are going to adopt from Korea because there's a lot of abandoned dogs in Korea, and they're having trouble finding permanent homes in Korea. So let a lot of American and Canadian people adopt from Korea, and so if we are going to get dogs next time, we are planning to do that. But based on how my dogs are living right now, it seems like they're up for a pretty long life, which I can't complain about. But yeah, they do look like teddy bears. They're adorable. Oh, of all these pictures, I did not show you what I cooked today. I cooked this bo luk lak. It is Vietnamese shaken beef, but I didn't have some ingredients, so that's why the sauce is a little bit watery. And I had it with some Korean bean paste, so it's like a strange mixture of a Korean Vietnamese food. But maybe that was too much acid, that pickled red onion. I'm feeling a little bit of a heartburn right now. Or I don't know, it's maybe because I haven't been eating a lot again. Okay. Well, uh I'm gonna meet up with my neighbor soon to give her her battery back, and gonna get ready for tomorrow. So a couple of you were bummed out because you missed the stream notifications. So on Discord, I am going to make a role for. I'm gonna assign something to the people who want to be notified when there's a stream. So if you want to be notified for a stream, please let me know, and then I can add you, and then I can ping you before I go live. And as always, if you have a topic you would like for me to discuss in other videos in general in my YouTube channel, or if you want me to talk about it on stream, you can always let me know. Okay. I'm going to sign off for today, but I will see you next time. Thanks so much for joining. Good night, everyone.